Peace, peace, peace. I like doing these little blackout messages. Just bring some suspense to it. But yeah. Greetings to all. Peace to all. A new day, a new moment, a new month. New beginnings every day, every moment. I sit here and have thoughts, things that come to me, and I was like, let me just share it. And I say these things not for an attack. It could be triggering for people. It could illuminate something within yourself. But I just want people to sit here and ponder on this. I don't know, I could say this jokingly, sarcastically, or even some truth. I just want y'all to realize, does it make, who created this? Questioning the foundations, or even how you can have somebody dribble a basketball and make millions of dollars. And I had these talks with these young kids. I actually played one-on-one with this kid the other day. I was just going out there to get some exercise. And again, this has been a gradually process of my own internal growth and coming into more of a higher perspective or outlook on life. Because again, growing up as a dark man or dark melanated man, or I'm just using what was given to me, the cards that I was dealt, and having been in a country where the focus or the pinpoint is a lot of options that are given if you're not birthed from a family that has, been birthed from a silver spoon. This is not attack people, again, because I know people from other countries and know people from environments who have, let's say, riches, or you can, riches in a material sense, a monetary sense, that again they were birthed into. So there's no judgment there. It's for me, the stereotypes, and even how the programming, even from in the womb of your mother, or even coming into this world, just the forced options that we're given in America as dark men, with that option first being basketball. This is my opinion, basketball, football, and, honestly speaking, just being stereotyped as just a criminal, or just something that is not even good for humanity or for anyone that is opposite that color. But then I tell myself, I'll sit here, I'm like, bro, we got people making $1 million dribbling the ball back and forth, shooting it, making it, whatever. And having people that I've seen personally, they're given this narrative so young. And again, going back to the kid that I played basketball with, I just went out there minding my business, shooting around, and it was later at night. Then I heard one kid say, hey man, dunk it, I'll give you $20. I was like, I don't care for the money, or I'm just out here to play. Then again, they were in front of some, little girls or whatever, so I know, this is an ego thing. I did it too when I was young, trying to impress them and talk junk. And then, he began to come over, and I was like, we can play one-on-one. I'm focusing on the fun of it. Then this other guy, I guess his friend that was with him, was like, yeah, I'll play you for, some money, da-da-da-da. I was like, cool. Then he proceeds to talk about, oh, yeah, man, you don't know who I am, da-da-da. I was like, not that I care. I really don't care. And, he's, I'm just giving y'all this visual of how much programming around not even just darker kids, but also kids that are Caucasian or even lighter, whatever their nationality is, that are lighter, even have this mindset of like, it's NBA or nothing. If they have a skill set or if they can shoot, they can do all these things, shoot the basketball good and da-da-da, that their mindset is so fixated on one thing. And so, the one kid that mentioned something first was like, yeah, man, I don't know even, he just started really getting disrespectful. And I asked him out of nowhere, I was like, do you normally talk to people like that? I was like, you must not have I went straight for the, to the root of it, naturally just picking up on the energy. I said, the way you talk to me, I said, you must not have a father figure or someone present because of, how you just approached it. And then what you said, he was like, you know what, I actually don't. And I believe he's got to be like at least 17, 18, whatever. And, that literally shifted the energy into the conversation. I said, well, I'm going to let you know now, me being not just a man, but, integrity and respect for myself, having self-respect, like that's not okay to approach people like that because you don't know people and everyone don't respond the same way. So I had to share that with him. He was like, yeah, you're right. I said, and trust me, you don't never know who you're meeting. And, if you need some mentorship or something, then I'm open to that. And it like literally shifted from an aggression that he had with his approach to like literally like a heartfelt conversation. Then that's when his friend come over, this energy of ego. And I think he's, again, had supposedly a top high school recruiter, athlete or something, or up and coming. He's like, yeah, man, let's play. I'll play you for this. And I'm like laughing because I find it comical. Like, you don't never know who you meet, and people judge a book by its cover. Anybody that have played me in basketball or seen me play realize like I don't even have to have the best sneakers. I don't care about stuff like that. I don't have to have the latest this or be wearing this just to play a certain way, look a certain way. And I even told him, I was like, all right, man, I said, look, we can play whatever. So I gave him the ball, and I think we were going to like 12, like, points. And, or 15, one of them, 15, I think it was 15 or 12. And then, he was talking about like, you must don't know who I am. And, of course, there's this thing with younger boys, due to like maturity, we feel like we have to boast about what it is we do and so forth. And again, he's like, yeah, man, I went to the Adidas something like event or something where they have these top recruits or kids that play. I was like, okay, I don't really care. And so he don't know much about me because, again, people don't realize like this whole thing when it comes to politics, or when there's a lot of politics when it comes to the world we live in, and it's not just what you see on TV. There's a lot of favoritism, politics, a lot of things that are not talked about and discussed, the underlining of things before kids even get involved into sports or things that are dealing with entertaining others, because that's what it really has become. It's like entertainment rather than, it literally has removed the fun out of everything. And that's the beautiful quote, or I can name this topic about this, is that, I saw this quote a few cycles ago, and it said, competition is a thief of joy. Now, I want you to remember that, because this is the whole topic at hand, even when it comes to the fact of the foundations of how divided not only a country is, but the people, and even more so a nation, the nations of people, and worldly, globally. So, immediately, like, I was focused on the fun, but I almost got pulled into the competition because he wanted me to like, already talking about his competitiveness. And, I respected that. But long story short, I ended up teach him a little valuable lesson, or some may say humbling or humbling. And the score ended up being 12-2. And then he was like immediately wanting to play again. And me, what he don't realize, like I didn't care after that. You know, we ended up playing 3 games. And I can honestly say, like, the second game, third game, see, this is the thing about me. It's like the growth is that it's not about winning or losing. And I had to tell him that. I was like, bro, the growth within myself, I said, you know, you're young, I get it, and you're learning. It's a respect thing that, you know, that I'm trying to get y'all to learn. Like, you're approaching someone, and then you're speaking, you know, so in a way to where it's like, you know, this country has got so far, people have gotten so far from principles and morals and values, or, you know, that they don't even know how to even approach each other anymore. They don't even know how to speak to themselves. I mean, that reflects even in the music. I mean, when you look at anything dealing with the media and so forth, and, you know, a lot of things, it has a lot to do with either division, competition, which is all based so much of like an ego thing. And, you know, those second 2 games, I had to realize, like, I had no intentions on coming out there to really do much. I just wanted to show them that first game, like, hey, just because I'm at this age or whatever, it doesn't mean that I cannot play. And people that know me personally or have played with me know that, you know, one, I'll talk, one, I'll play as well. But it's also me coming to that self-realization through I was being so lost in the idea of the competitiveness when it even came to competing or even just having fun with people. And then I just continuously remember that quote. It's like, soon as the competitiveness, even when it comes to men and women, even when we plant these seeds into our kids so early about how much they need to be, have this competitive spirit, and we're just literally fueling our own ego for our own satisfaction, for our own selfish attachment to their success. And in reality, their success has no limitation. Their success as kids is not even what we perceive it to be. We have been programmed to believe that success has a lot to do with monetary things, how much we obtain on this earthly plane, in this world, and so forth, which really isn't valuable because, you know, if you don't have, I mean, because again, it's going to wither away just like anything else. If it doesn't know its internal value or core value, then what makes it valuable? And so this is what you see with the I'm just naming things, like when you see things like, you know, why is it that it's important to know about what an athlete or this person makes? And when you see how much even the what's the word I'm looking for? How men even in itself get paid so much more than women, like the inequality when it comes to that. Or even, it's basically what people don't say, it's saying the value that someone has more than just, you know, even when it comes to women, you know, rather than seeing the value in how people even show up. So it's like, it's so much centered around ego and division that we immediately separate ourselves, which is the biggest illusion, from the fact that we all are playing a role and are all valuable. And this is why you're going to see some of what y'all perceive as the greatest athletes or people who are well known and so forth. And this is the part of the divine retribution that I spoke about, is that when it comes to the divine, there's nothing egoic in a way or egotistical. Like, the ego has its purpose, but when we're talking about lower nature and higher nature, this is what is happening in the world, where we have got so lost and so distant away from even our childhood innocence or even the essence of who we are, to where we're naturally trying to compete with the next person or man, or even instilling this in our kids to compete with the next little girl or boy because he doesn't have this shoes. And then that's when you hear the stories of in the past of this child getting bullied and so forth because they don't have these shoes, and this person, you know, you're hearing the unaliving of people because of certain shoes. And I even told one of those kids that, like, I was like, see, I never cared about that stuff. I said, yeah, did I get certain brands of shoes when I was young? Absolutely not. But I don't need to no one needs to convince me. I say, see, they convince y'all to be like, that well-known basketball player. They teaching y'all to be like them rather than to be your fucking self. Like, make that make sense. And it's all for what? Behind it all is greed. Behind it all is the self-righteous that these people that you perceive or have put on this pedestal, none of that is righteous. Because they don't even care for you or even care for the fact of even if this child eats. No, they rather you buy their sneakers. They rather you buy this. Same thing go for rappers and everything. Like, I'm calling it out for what it is. These niggas don't even live this shit. These people, these women and all like that, they don't live that. And even if they do, they don't want their kids living it. They don't want their kids living it. That's why what you're seeing exposed is the fall from grace, because a lot of these people were purposely put here and in position for distraction from yourself and are playing these roles. And these roles that they are playing, now that the curtain is closed, they're just going to fade to the background and eventually walk to the audience just like everybody else that was watching the show. And once that curtain is closed, then you're going to have newcomers. Then you're going to have people that come up again, which the divine has set apart. You have been set apart from the very people that, again, a table was made in the very presence of these very people who had the choice to change and evolve and heal. See, no one is exempt from karma, and karma is not necessarily something that we perceive to be like, oh my God, it's horrible. No, it's the lesson. See, these same people that were up on these pedestals, and this is why you're seeing so much of this energy being exposed. I was expressing someone this. I was like, your favorites. How you gonna have someone be your favorite, but you're not your favorite first? Let's talk about self-esteem. Let's talk about low self-esteem. That's already preparing our kids to have low self-esteem, insecurities, because a lot of these, what you're seeing transition now and being exposed energetically, is a lot of people who they have no substance. There is no depth to them when it comes to the fact of them really being authentic. And the world is transitioning from inauthenticity to authenticity. And we all have played a part in it some way, somehow. But for some of us, we know the depths of who we are. We just almost, just like anyone else, have drifted and had to learn lessons and had to be in the presence of people who did not have the best interest for us, or did not want our light to shine, or try to dim our light, or try to even play the Most High, like literally try to play God in our life, whether it be a guardian, a parent, and so forth, and not like that. It goes on and on. So again, this competitiveness, this is what the old world represents. The good versus the bad. When in reality, the polarity of things is that you cannot have the dark without the light. You cannot have this without that. There's an African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, there's no enemy without. And I trust that I quoted that correctly. And see, the thing that I push is oneness. It's like sometimes I even find myself, and I do get disgusted with it when I do see certain things that come up on my feed or certain things that I watch. And I'm just like, what is this? I really ask the Most High, like, why is this being shown? Because sometimes when we're elevating and we choose to evolve, like, again, I wasn't always at this place. Again, due to my own deep insecurities, or due to the foundations that I was brought upon and what was instilled within me, that was my grooming process from women and men in the world as I knew it, and what was forced upon me. I too suffered just at the hands of the same school systems and the foundation that you're now seeing crumbling. That same political system, the same patriarchal, matriarchal, and empires of the world who have played a major role in orchestrating all of this. And eventually they knew that their demise was going to come, is that they were going to decide whether that demise was going to be through a karmic lesson and or to prepare for a dharmic path. But some people are not wanting to choose to evolve and heal. And, and that's the thing about, you cannot really save anyone. You got to really realize, like, the world didn't teach us these things when it comes to morals and principles. Let me get back to what I was saying. You're talking about being in a world, an environment where someone can dribble a ball and become a millionaire. There's something skeptical about that. You telling me people can go out there, and what I'm saying is this, is like, you got people out here in the communities, you got people that are with kids every day, and you're telling me that somebody that just because they have, they have this ability to jump higher or do these things and shoot a basketball, and that they can make millions of dollars while our teachers are out here fucking struggling to live and feed their family. And I'm not saying I support anything when it comes to these school systems, because again, they're also a part of keeping people away from who they truly are, meaning our kids, keeping them away. I was saying, I had this discussion with someone the other day, like how certain things are being removed, or even when I was in childhood, like the basketball goals, or certain things were being removed, or how certain things we didn't have access to when we were younger. And, and that played that played a major role or influence on our imagination. There's certain parks I can go to in certain demographics where there's what is built out of is like metal. It's like it's designed for you to hurt and get injured. And there's nothing that keeps the mind, whether with little boys or girls, like, because little girls need things that, when it comes to emotional fulfilling things, and boys, they need that sense of accomplishment. We as men and women process things differently. Everyone processes things differently, depending on their experiences from childhood. But when it comes to women, they're more emotionally in tune naturally. Their intuition, their senses of awareness is deeper naturally than men. Because everything began with the matriarchal. Everything began with the water, our emotions. So when you're talking about little boys, we naturally are analytical, or, look at things logically. And we process things way much more later than, women. And it's not always that case, but this is the self-awareness I came into, because I realized, like, as I became more emotionally in tune and intelligent, I was able to recognize this, seeing what I experienced with women, and then observing how little girls and boys process and operate things. Again, little boys, it's different. Like, I'm on the playground watching, I'm like, whoa, like, they do things completely different, or their response to things are completely different. But what we're missing out on is getting back to even the playground things, the demographic. When you're talking about kids not having access to certain things, I recently went to a botanical garden and all this other stuff, and it was just showing, like, the demographics again, where, certain kids that are darker, you don't hear about going to botanical garden when you're in the trenches or in the hood. They rarely, when it comes to the school system, take them on field trips, or even if there's not a lot of money invested in the communities. I'm trying to show y'all, like, again, even when it comes to competitiveness and ego and the progression, and even how the inequality, or how there's naturally what has been groomed in this country to see kids that are darker less valuable than even kids that are lighter, and even kids like that are, some may use the term interracial. And the reason I say that is because having a child that's, come from, coming to the physical aspect, a mother that is lighter and a dad that's darker. I had to tell my partner, I was like, she should experience both. And the reason being is because I too had that experience, and it really had to help it shape and mold the integrity and even the awareness around seeing the bigger picture. From my own experience of, again, this little boy coming up, we playing basketball, and him bragging about this and this, and which was fun and all, but again, I had to tell my partner, like, when it comes to kids that get bullied just by being lighter, and some people that's darker don't even realize, like, due to their demographics of being that they've stayed in environments most of their whole lives, it's like they automatically, I know certain women that are darker automatically think that some women have a upper hand just because of their positioning. And this is why I always encourage our women. This is why I always encourage our women, whatever, I'm not just necessarily say side, but in a way, like, your viewpoint. And this is for even women that are lighter, whatever your nationality is, you won't know nothing about darker women if you don't actually have the courage to sit down with them. Because every one of your experiences has been, because some people has, like, harmful, or, sometimes it's your own subconscious fears, or what you've been programmed to believe, or what you've seen on TV, or what you drive through the neighborhood, through the hoods, and you see women that look like that, but you don't even know the depths of her pain. You don't even know that, you don't care to know. And this is how I've had to be, like, this bridge in a way, fearlessly, because everyone don't have that courage. Me being in a whole demographic, again, having to be more around people that are lighter, it has really shown me that they too have pain. They too experience things. They're just not vocal about it. They just have covered it up with money, material things, due to either the programming, and it's not all of them, but due to the demographics, and also due to the foundations of what they were birthed into, because everybody's circumstances are not the same, and sometimes they're not vocal because they're scared, they're afraid. And so sometimes I see people just go along with stuff just because, for their own protection. They think I don't know that. People go along with things. We've all done it. Go along with that just so we don't feel a sense of just to protect ourselves, just to protect the ones we love. I see women do it all the time. I see men do it too. Oh, I'm not going to deal with that person. I'm not going to interact with that person. Because naturally, that competitiveness, because you don't want that man or woman to be better, or, that's your deep insecurities. You don't want to feel like they're better, or if they accomplish this or they get this. And, like, I know a lot of people that got degrees, or the first they get things in their family that are darker, but we're going to pretend like there isn't this this thing to where people are lighter in America, or certain things, like, don't have that, or in a position of authority to literally keep this person from having access to, let's say, I'm going to use an example, like, to get this loan or to get this. And, people have abused their power on all levels. And it's not just lighter people, it's darker people too. Same thing when I look at these school systems. Like, when I was talking to the little young boy after I played basketball with him, I said, man, y'all don't realize how much y'all have been programmed to believe that that's all that there is, even when it comes to sports. Certain things. All I knew growing up was just basketball or certain things. Then you move to a whole demographic where bowling is a sport. People get scholarships for bowling, or, baseball. You're moving somewhere, and again, people just naturally think, like, just because you look something, you just play basketball. You're just this athlete. And we don't even realize as human beings, or the programming, and how much we have roots in things that have no value. and not even be honest with ourselves and our kids. Like, baby, the NBA ain't all that is. Hey, bro. And I be having these conversations with these kids because they get to this place where they realize as soon as they see someone that plays better than them, or they see that opportunity, because some of us had grew up in survival, there's immediately like jealousy, envy, or this deep resentment. They don't even know where it comes from, or they probably inherited from a mom or dad because they didn't fulfill their mission or dreams. And you see a lot of, and all coaches and creeds, they vicariously live through their kids, and it ain't just sports. They vicariously live their fears and insecurities through their kids. And we don't, and this is why I be telling y'all this, yo. It ain't the competitiveness, even when it comes to religion. The competitiveness, whose God's better? Who's idolizing this person more? Who has the biggest church? You can have the biggest church, but you got all these people on the fucking street, kids and all this other stuff. Because the divine knows the backstory. And that's what's all being exposed. Everything is being exposed. It's just like you go in a warehouse full of roaches and rats and all types of stuff. How are you going to exterminate or remove whatever's in there until you shine a light on the very thing that has been blocking, cluttering, or just clouding whatever judgment or building, or whatever it is that's in that abandoned building or whatever it is. And the thing about it is that we've abandoned ourselves. But we have got so caught up in politics, we have got so caught up in what this person is doing, and in reality, you're still abandoning yourself, your true identity, your authentic self, your higher self, your inner child, whatever you want to call it. Because we all have been programmed and been, in the dark to believe that someone else is our savior. Someone else is going to come and save us. Because not everyone knows about certain religious figures throughout the world. So don't give me that bullshit. You can't feed me that. Because everybody don't know about that. I have people from other cultures and creeds that I naturally respect, because they have their ideology or whatever philosophy on life. And guess what? I can still be able to put myself there or relate to it in some way. I don't have to disrespect them. I don't have to degrade them. I don't have to devalue them. I don't even have to unalive them or threaten their life just simply because I do not respect their spiritual beliefs. Just because I choose not to see their world or universe as mine, so I immediately judge them. Wake up. You're teaching the kids that, who's better, that this person is better. Just because of what? Their skin color? They have it better off? And so I'm going to let y'all in. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. That doesn't even matter to the divine, to the Most High, to God, whomever it is that y'all say y'all honor. What type of God or what type of Most High creator that y'all believe in? Because obviously you're so much in competition with people that you don't know about. You don't know nothing about to the depths of them. And you don't care to. So that's where your suffering comes in, because some people are so attached to the idea of what people could be from their own subconscious fears, which has nothing to do with them, because we're all projecting from our own experiences, from our own insecurities, from our own whatever it is that we have experienced thus far as human beings here. We all have our viewpoint on whether it be how someone eats, how someone relationship is. That's all you see on social media. It's like this got to be the most insecure country, weakest country, who preys naturally on the youth, on the innocent. And you call yourself powerful, strong, and mighty? Like, who are y'all? Who are you? Like I said, I haven't been perfect in any of it. I was a part of it until I realized, like the divine said, I said, set you apart. I want you to sit back, get your popcorn, and watch exactly what you were involved in. Be ye not conformed to the world. Be ye not of the world. So the old world in which you sit, as I still be learning to set myself apart in certain ways, I'm like, wow, what the fuck is this? What am I a part of? What am I enabling? So you want to influence? You got people who are influencing people, filling them up with what? Not integrity. Because you don't know who these people are behind these vlogs. You don't know who these people are behind these streams. You don't know who these people are behind this suit. You don't know what these people are involved with behind closed doors. You don't know. And this is the same thing goes to me. Don't believe nothing I have to say. I had to tell someone, trust me. You need to trust yourself. You need to trust your intuition. You don't need to trust nothing about who I am. Unless you're watching my actions or unless you see me daily. I can look at a child and the child, like naturally, I'm not going to, it's not, this is how I see the world. It's like, they're so childlike. And I look at kids and I see these adults, I'm like, oh my God, they're wounded. And then here it is, I'm trying to speak about stuff to prevent the continuance of generational wounding, whatever creed or culture. Because we're wounded, we're hurt. So what do we continue to do? What type of nation, what type of country wants to continue to force feed people poison in their food? What type of country, what type of wicked ass people wants to continue to what? What type of country does that? What type of people? Because deep down, it all has to do with the power that people have been given and they abused it. And they know this. And so as it slips through their hand, they're realizing as it slips through their hand, their identity goes with it. The life as they knew it. Because a lot of us thought we were bigger. We thought we were the bigger picture. And in reality, the bigger picture was bigger than us. We just got a little microscope. And the divine is sitting here. This is why some of us go through our awakenings, or some of us go through what we need to go through. To call it out. You tell me, what kind of world has people, celebrity, what's that, celebrate? What are we celebrating? We celebrating people what? What are we celebrating? What are we celebrating? Mothers, I need you. I love you all. What are we celebrating? Do you not want your kids to be able to celebrate themselves through their simplest things that they do? I'm talking about something as simple as, yes, you've seen my artistry. But you know what I celebrate? I don't just celebrate that. I see the consistency in that. But I'm able to look at my princess because I have gotten more in tune with myself. To where before, years ago, I was too focused on trying to get monetary things or money from creating, where I was forgetting about celebrating the journey, valuing myself. Because if I didn't see that, then how would whatever I obtained from it, how was I going to see the importance of celebrating the process through all the emotions? So now I'm able to look at my princess, and some may say scribble, scrabble. I'm able to see through the divine eyes to see the beauty in every stroke, every, color, everything that she does, and not judge it, and not criticize her, and not vicariously try to live my skill set, which I've had years of being consistent, and being able to look at hers and see the beauty, and not not you know, not bash her or blame her for it not being a certain way. This is the world that we are breaking free from and liberating ourselves from. Your leaders, whomever you want to call them, whether it's in your life and so forth. It's about the control, the manipulation, the forcing the people, and not caring nothing about who they are internally. The competition, the ego, your biggest of events that you have out throughout the world. For what? This versus this versus that. And we're celebrating what? You'll celebrate a celebrity or athlete, people that you know nothing about, before you even clap for your own fucking self and your kids, bruh. What kind of world is this? You will clap for somebody else rather than clap for yourself with what you have currently and presently. It's none of my business. It's just like, man, these are the thoughts. These are the clarity. These are the insights that I'm receiving. You will clap for a celebrity or an artist who you don't even know what spirits, you don't know what Jezebel, you don't know what any type of spiritual warfare that they have within their own lineage. And then they're putting into their music, or then they put into anything just to what? Influence your daughters, influence your sons to do what? Because what is it? This is a spiritual warfare, right? For we don't fight with flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high and low places, or principalities. I don't know the verse like tit for tat. But what are we doing here? It's comical, bro. It's literally, I can't do nothing but laugh, because what? What? Where is the integrity and morals and principles? We're healing in reverse. I'm seeing it happen. And what I mean by that term is like, for all the pain that was inflicted, if you believe that the divine doesn't have something coming down the pipeline that is so much more bigger and greater that the world has never seen, you're going to see it, witness, and you're going to hear it here first through artistry, through the music, through the writings. As deep as we keep meeting ourselves, those of you that are on this path, the healers, the ones that are called weird and strange, that are outcasted, because the source has set you apart from your tribe, your lineage, purposefully, so you can bring up the next generation and be a bridge from pain to gain, to be a bridge from wounds to heal, to scars that are healed. Meaning that, don't you forget. That's what they want you to do. I had to tell someone that. Don't you let them forget. Don't let them people make you forget about what's happened. Even the people in your life, whether they look like you or not, don't let no one let you forget about what you have to fight for within yourself internally, the spiritual warfare, the unseen shit that people don't know about. Don't let them let you forget. I mean that to the youth, to everyone, wherever you are throughout the world, throughout this universe. Don't let people let you forget. You don't forget, most importantly. Because wherever they are energetically, lower, higher vibration, wherever it is, don't let people let you forget. That's the thing about your ancestors that wanted the best for you, the ones that came before you. Because the ones that didn't want what was best, there's no difference in the ones that you see. Just because they don't look like you, it's no difference. That energy comes out through a whole nother way. Don't let people let you forget about who the fuck it is, who you are. No matter what culture and creed. Because the oneness of it all is that, guess what? You are uniquely you. Your own universe. You your own universe. Don't let no one let you forget. Because how do you think we build a bridge that is collapsing? The foundations are collapsing. Who do you think are going to be the ones to build it? A lot of these people, I had to tell someone, I said, I'm going to just give you the gist of it. When you look at the old foundations, it's not just manipulation. When you look at the powers that were, the foundations of what was happening was to keep people in the darkness, to keep people looping, to keep people blinded from the signs, to keep people in a place to where they feel stuck. This is where that tunnel vision come in. Because you see the light. But everybody can't go with you. That's some of a lot of us, our greatest fears. A lot of these people can't come. Everybody cannot be a leader. New leaders rise up because at a point in time, some of those old ones were the ones who are being dethroned and lose their position because they chose through their own fear of evolving to follow. They didn't know what it was to remain a leader or to know what it was to be anointed. They had a purpose and they allowed their greed, they allowed their selfish attachment to this world, to whatever it is, to overtake them, to whatever they're battling with spiritually. Come on now. Don't let them let you forget. They're called repressed memories for a reason, repressed emotion. Whether it be your mom, father, anybody. There's people in my life, again, I can't be mad, but I've I've done things to where I wouldn't say I'm happy for it, but at the same moment, I can't tell them to forget about what was done. And, that's a part of shaping their character and molding them into who they are, into why they came into their integrity and why they choose to walk upright in their righteousness. You got to be, for you to walk in such a righteous path. And I'm not saying like, this so much of people being so focused on like, oh, you gotta dress like this. You gotta not eat this. You gotta be like this. And you gotta, everybody want to tell everybody what to be, how to be. Whether it's spiritual community, religion, I don't care what it is, all realms of things. Y'all don't know nothing about politics and all this other shit, but yet y'all got so much to say about it. Y'all don't know nothing about this child and what their mother and father has went through and the vices that they got to experience in the spiritual warfare, that their lineage, that they're fighting for daily, that you know nothing about. Yet we all try to tell people how to live their life. And I'm not here to try to tell anyone how to live. A leader is going to lead you to yourself, meaning that it makes you see the uncomfortable parts of yourself, the unhealed versions. See, those scars that they wanted us to forget are the things you need to be reminded by. See, scars are beautiful. That's the beauty of realizing, like, you know what, I got through this. I'm able to look at it. Yeah, it reminds me of the pain, but look at where I am now. See, I don't realize, like, a lot of what is happening in these countries and environments right now, the wounds are being exposed to what the foundations that were built on. When it comes to a lot of these elders, I've been around people who have so much hatred for people that are darker that they don't even know their identity. Their whole identity is built around that. And their greatest fear is for someone darker to even be in their presence, work alongside of them, or even let alone their child have a baby with someone like that. And it goes both ways. Because karma comes in ways energetically where that karma and that energy can play out through something or someone, just for you to find security and safety back within yourself. See, y'all learned it so differently. Y'all think that, oh my gosh, like the worst possible thing can happen. And because you got to realize this old world, in the way a lot of these elders that are in their 60s, 70s, everything is so changing right now, because you got to realize their foundations of their world, and I'm not saying all of it, but majority, was so much fixated on, again, things that were narcissistic, control, manipulation. It was so many things to where, now their identity, now that their reality is that their illusion is being exposed. And you know what comes up with that? The repressed emotions and memories around even their childhood, through their own soul development, through their own process of life, what they're experiencing. See, their whole world was centered around competition. This is why they didn't want to help you. This is why they didn't want to support you. And it goes in all creeds and cultures. This is why people have so much to say. So much to say about certain people, but at the same, that just shows and reflects the deepest insecurities that they have, or something that was embedded or programmed in them in their childhood. And the only way change or transformation or evolution can come is through the destruction or chaos or even upheaval within ourselves. And that's what you're going to see externally. Because these people have no identity. I'm looking at people, I see dead people. That's exactly what it's talking about in the spiritual sense. People are spiritually dead. They're rotten inside because their identities, look at the word identity, like the entity, they've been so succumbed by their own darkness that they don't even know who they are. They're lost. Lost souls. They're lost out here. And they're choosing not to heal and evolve. So what? There's no saving people like that. They're going to go out with the same foundations and the same identity that they built this shit upon for years. Why do I need to save someone who I know have a deep hatred or, self-hatred for whatever it is, whether it comes to skin color, whether it comes to anything? How could I save them? I can only plant seeds. I can only be myself instead of trying to realize like this person is so deep in their programming that there's nothing that I could do. And the best thing I could do is be myself. And if that means that this person may not like me or accept me or this country or this environment and people won't embrace me, then so be it. That does not determine my destiny. That is pushing me. I am walking in it. And that's the deep acceptance that some people are afraid to do that. I don't need to take on anything because that's not my problem. Everyone has things that they're going through and they have to find a solution for it. We've been looking to the world and looking to leaders and looking to everybody else for our for our solutions, but ourselves. I can look at my daughter right now. She'll sit there and say, well, Daddy, this doesn't work. This is this. I said, well, and see, this is the thing we learn young because they don't know it all. They're learning to mobilize, process things and so forth. And so are we still, even with the transition of the world right now. And so we're being reborn anew inwardly and outwardly and seeing it happen on the spiritual sense and the physical sense. So when I'm able to see my princess find her own solution, that means like simple things, not she knows it all. It's just simple things. Simple things like if you know how you teach a child, it's a process like the mother wiping their butt, cleaning them. We do this. Mother and father, cleaning the baby, Then they learn to walk and potty train. You know how kids run out to the street? Hey, baby, don't go over there. Yeah, they get frustrated about it because they want to do their own way. I see people no different right now when I look at humanity. Everybody really want to do their own thing. And when you have been in a country, when it doesn't respect and honors people's morals in their, not just as no fucking citizens. I'm talking about as human beings, as people, sovereign people. When there is no morals implanted in your so-called constitution or whatever it is, where there is no morals, there's no dignity, there's no respect. This is why I sit back and eat my popcorn. The divine says, sit back, be still, lay low, and watch. Okay, I'll come in there and find it, okay? Look around in the room. The big bow, look on your... Let me know if you find it. I'll come in there. But let me finish this off. So, yeah. Why are you surprised? When you're talking about the foundations of whether you want to look at like the rule books and everything, it's no difference in the blueprint. I'm talking about the deeper, some people, I give you a visual. Whether you when you talking about your life, when you talking about these foundations of these countries and these leaders and so forth, they had a plan. That's what they were playing. But their plan they thought was bigger than the Most High. Absolutely not. This is what I'm gonna leave y'all with. It's just like everything has its purpose. It's just like a I think what creates a diamond? I think is it coal, whatever material that is. You gotta realize that these people, the powers that were, or whatever you want to perceive it as, or wicked, I don't care. They could represent coal, but guess who represents the diamond? See all this pressure, everything is building up just to be reborn anew. And a lot of these elders, people, some of them won't even live to see. They are a part of the, whether, I don't care if it's elders, I'm talking about on all levels. When you talking about, I'm talking about celebrities, people, I don't care what their status is. All of them are the pressure. They represents the coal. And a lot of us are the diamond. They are just the pressure. They represent that coal energetically as of now. And as this pressure, this heat, this pressure happens, and eventually no one saw the diamond coming. See, that's how the divine operates. No one saw the diamond being formed through the process because they were blinded or so consumed by what others were doing who represented the coal process. And then now what? Then when those diamonds are formed, the diamond in the rough, the whole world gets to see it. You can't not see a diamond. You can't not see it shine. The dimension. Baby, look up under this stuff because you just had it over there, love. You got to move some of your toys, baby, to find the big bow. I be reminding her, can comes before the tea. Yes, you can. Just gotta, sometimes things be right in front of us. But again, this is how I'm perceiving the world right now. It's just like the very thing that was sent to destroy. You found it? There we go. I love it. There you go. It was in your toys, wasn't it?
No.
Where was it at?
In my cart.
Oh, in your cart. Yeah, that's what I meant to tell you. It was in your cart.
It's that way.
It won't come off right there now. Look. There you go. So. So yeah, it's like the process of a cold. This is how I'm looking at all this stuff that's not being consumed by. I'm like, man, you know what? Everything has to be exposed for what it is. And even with that exposure, people are a part of that. We're all playing a role right now. People are a part of that. Some people may not like what you're doing. Some people may not want to tell the truth. That's okay. That's fine. Let them choose a so-called side. Let them do that. Can you be you, though? Can you be you? It's supposed to be a blackout. Just realized I just did that. That was funny. But anywho, can you be you? Regardless of what's going on. Can you have the integrity? Why do you think the divine is exposing everything the opposite of that? On all levels. Anything that's inauthentic. Nothing that is built on substance. Anything that's not built upon like truth. Higher frequency things. It has to be exposed. What's been done to our kids. How we've been treated. I mean, on all levels, you name it. Just for everything to be balanced out. And that's just the way it is on all levels. As above, so below, as within, so without. As it is, thy will shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. If you think that what's been going on is a part of heaven, then oh my gosh, it's heavenly. Wow. To where? Where? So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Remember, know who you are through the process. We all were a process that even giving our energy to those things that represented the cold, but at the same time, do you know that you're the diamond in the rough? Peace and blessings. Shalom.